This episode, today we're going to be talking more Rocket League than anything else, I'd say. Dabble in a few other things, but realistically, it's all about car soccer. And car soccer it is. And I am obviously here with my lovely co host, Dash, like always, or to my
How
left,
you
wherever the hell
doing?
you
How
are.
you doing?
And we got Set and Thomas as well here. What's up, guys?
Hey,
How's it
how's it
going?
going?
Um,
what we have two. You guys are Rocket League, in the actual leagues managers, right? That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, we are RLCS managers.
That's sick. I
Former.
mean,
Well,
former. Okay. I mean, well, you guys are gonna have to I feel like it's gonna be kind of interesting today because I don't know too much about Rocket League. But again, I'm interested in in all gaming scenes really, and so I feel it's gonna be kind of fun learning about it today.
yeah, for
I mean,
sure.
I love like Rocket League's like probably like top three esports for me. I don't get to really watch too often for me, but like I love playing Rocket League. It's enjoyable. I still have like boomer hands because general arthritis and gripping a controller don't go so well. So it sucks, but I manage well enough, I guess. But realistically, what got you guys like not necessarily like deep into it, but like just starting out, what drove you to Rocket League?
So basically, all my friends got it like 5 or 6 years ago, and we formed like a competitive team. We were like bronzes, and we thought we were good back then. We'd always play against good players in tournaments and get smashed, and it just drove us to get better.
Hmm.
And then 5 years later, I'm here managing a professional Rocket League.
Shit.
Uh,
And do you manage like for a specific team or
I
what?
manage for Vibrance, who are
Vibrance. Oh
currently the
yeah.
best unsigned team in the world. So hashtag sign Vibrance.
Sheesh. Okay.
and you're pretty much competing against like a lot of the bigger orgs, like what
Yeah,
C9, NV. Is NV in RL?
C9's not, but Envy is, yeah.
Okay, that got it backwards then. All right. Well, that's
And
pretty awesome.
Set or is it Seth or what?
Set
Just
works.
Set. Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
So I got into it because friends. There was like a lack of good games to play at the time. We were kind of just all bored,
Mhm.
and I think at the time I can't remember. Maybe it was on. I think Rocket League was on Game Pass at the time. I was on Xbox, and I remember ending up getting the game, and oh god, I was getting smashed by all of my friends, but they were like, "Yeah, just keep playing," and I'm like, "Okay." And so then now we're kind of here, and I mean, I think I've gotten pretty far in the game, but in terms of managing, like, I think I've gotten pretty far. I don't know. It was mostly just friends, and
I
then I
mean,
sort of built my
what
way up.
what teams have you managed, if you can talk about it?
So I've managed three different teams. Rank X teams. We'll get into that later. But I've managed Flashpoint, which was Porklet, Heck, and Tally. I've managed Volt, which was a pretty mixture of a team, but like the original team was Ness, Astro, and Heck. And then I've managed Square One, which was Karma, Heck, and Zenil.
Okay. Huh.
Sheesh.
I would also like to add that I used to manage Take 3, which was top 4 in the RLCS World Championships back in 2017. I was the manager of that squad.
Okay, so
So
we got big dogs in here, is what I'm hearing.
yeah, you guys always manage the higher end people.
Yeah, yeah.
That
I've
makes
also
sense.
managed HC Esports. They were a top team back in 2020. Really good team.
I mean, is there like a like I know because CS is more like my scene area. But like, is there like is there a decent sized semi pro scene? Like, not I don't know. I guess maybe that might be some of the teams you manage might fall into or not. I'm not sure. But like, is there a huge mid tier scene kind of?
I think the bubble scene is definitely getting better, but I think there's still a pretty big gap between the top teams in the bubble. Because right now, I'd
What's
say at the top of
the
the bubble are
bubble
like
scene?
Integrity, DVS, around there.
So when you say bubble, you mean essentially always the same
So,
group
I
of
mean,
teams over and over again.
Yeah, like the same
yeah.
bubble.
And then like
Oh,
pro teams, I'd say probably my team is like one of the worst pro teams. But well, never mind. I didn't say that. I consider pro like top 10,
mm-hmm.
Okay.
and I think we're about
Okay,
number 10 right now.
that's really sick.
I mean,
I mean, did
top
you?
10's top 10 regardless.
Yeah,
Yeah.
facts. Did you guys start on well, we can start. Did you guys start on Rocket League like as your like first game like really wanting to compete in, or did you guys like have another game that you guys played before?
Yeah, I would say Rocket League was probably the first. I mean,
Really?
at the time
Nice.
when I started playing, the big esports games were like what COD. I guess FIFA really wasn't developed by then, but yeah, it was mostly just COD. And I mean, being a console player, it's like I can't really make it anywhere. I mean, yeah, I guess I could, but at the time, you have to have some really godlike aim. And
Yeah.
so I knew it just wasn't happening. It wasn't happening. So to find like a really alternate game like Rocket League, it was like, yeah, this is it. This is it.
Dude, I need to try that game more. I've had a lot of friends who always play it and like told me to get on it. And I remember I downloaded it once and like there was no one who wanted to play with. Like it was just if I didn't get like introduced properly, I never played it. You know what I mean? But I wish I. It looks like a fun game though.
Like I like Rocket League really is one of those like it could be very casual, very enjoy. Well, I wouldn't say necessarily enjoyable because it can be totally infuriating. But it's a grindy game as like even as like a very newbie person like me would even put it like. But
Mhm.
it's definitely one of those games that everybody I feel like should at least dabble in every once in a while just to enjoy it for what it is. Honestly,
True.
Yeah, I agree.
Uh,
um, how like. How come you prefer managing over like playing itself? Is it just because you don't think you can make it at that high of level and you're better off just managing, or you just are just that's your thing? You are a manager.
Um, I used to be a top player myself, but just haven't had the time.
I feel that the grind is crazy. You gotta have like a it's literally a whole job. So being able to manage it both is kind of wild.
yeah. I mean, I knew I was never going to be in that like good enough. You mean you can always try, of course, but
Yeah.
I mean, I just kind of preferred it because it's like I realized early on it was a lot of tedious work, and a lot of these
Mhm.
players just they want to get on the game, they just want to play, they want to play the scrims, they want to get into qualifiers, they want to play RLCS. They don't really want to deal with all the little things in between and all the tedious work and when do I have to be online, when's this scheduled, all that. So I don't know. It felt really good to be able to help them with all of that instead of just trying to strive for something I know I'm not going to obtain.
Exactly, I agree 100%.
So it's just being realistic with your skills.
Yeah,
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 basically.
I mean, I respect that. Like a good manager can make or break a team realistically. Because
Facts.
you got to
100%.
kind of set the pace for the rest of the team.
Good
And
manager, good
if
coach,
you're
good
not doing
system,
your
all of that.
shit, then no one else is gonna do their shit pretty much.
yeah.
Exactly. Big facts. Can you guys like give like a so like I said, I don't know too much about the scene in general. Could you guys like give like a quick explanation about the Rocket League competitive scene in general and like how it works?
Thomas, if you want to take this one.
Yeah, so the big pro league is the RLCS, right? There's three splits: fall, winter, and spring. And within each split, there are three regional events that the top 16 teams in each region play in. And then they compete in that, they earn points, and then at the end of the season, all your points are calculated, and there's a world championship.
Oh, it works the same or like really similar to the COD League and how that works now, like with
Hmm.
CDL.
And
I
all
th
the
I wonder
regional
if
events
that's
are
why
just
they're
the top
super
16.
connected. Sorry, what'd you say?
All the regional events are just the top 16 teams.
Oh, okay, okay.
And there are open qualifiers, but it's pretty hard to make it out,
uh,
honestly.
Mm.
what about the RLRS? I guess it's the former pro
That
scene.
hasn't been a thing a couple of years now.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it just kind of like just didn't hold weight to the scene very much, and
Well, it did, but they just changed the format when Season X started, the beginning of 2020, I think, and it went
okay.
So
away.
basically, how like CWO went to the CDL and like franchise and all that.
Um,
I
what's
mean,
that?
RL's not franchised, right?
No, RL's not
No.
franchised. Um,
Hopefully, it
it's
doesn't.
sort of, it's kind of like, yeah, they took two leagues and merged it into one, and realized that instead of hosting two separate events throughout like a month of like 3 months, we would rather do a whole year, merge two leagues together, and put a whole bunch of bubble teams in. And so now you have a league where you have a whole bunch of teams playing each other, a whole bunch of qualifiers. And since there's so many matches going on, it was like we're now able to um, kind of like market all these really high level matches very like consistently. So
And
I
kind of
think from
opens up for the lower end teams to kind of have a chance to, I guess.
yeah, definitely. That and production. Production was able to advertise a lot more high-level matches than they normally would with a regular season.
Okay.
So is there a 6-man roster on the teams or what? 6-man roles. What is that?
So it's a 3-man team with the option of having a substitute player, of course, an option of a coach and an option of a manager, but it has to be 3 players on a team.
Oh, okay.
In terms of 6-man, so 6-man's is like a separate thing. It's kind of like
Like
ye-
ESEA.
ESEA, like
Okay.
how you have your rank
Oh.
S, G, A, B, C, like all the way down and whatnot. And so it's kind of like that, and it's a way to rank new and up and coming players. So your pro players will be in rank S, X will be kind of your bubble, but more of your lower level pro players, and then A and everything down is just kind of like bubble-ish, and then casual players.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. It's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
It's a variant of ranked almost. Instead, you play like a series and you report it through a Discord server. It's a whole different system. It's really good though, in my opinion. So
I mean,
Is it? This is a completely separate question. Is it possible? See, like it just brought in my head. Is it possible to cheat on Rocket League? Like, do you guys like deal with cheaters at all?
No,
Is
we
that a
don't.
thing?
no,
That's
no.
such a fucking man. W.
it's
I mean,
it's an FPS thing for the most part. I feel like 99% of it
Yeah,
is going to be an FPS
yeah.
kind of thing. I can't imagine what hacks would really look like in Aura other than ball
Speed
tracking.
hacks or something like that.
the server won't allow you to do speed hacks, but I mean, there's been a couple of YouTube videos where I mean, like Sunless Khan has created a video and it's been
Love that
like
guy.
creating like hacks, and then he'd go into a lobby against like any sort of pro player. And I remember one of these things he created, it's like he'd hit the ball and the ball would be able to track towards the net because it was on like his own server, so the server allowed him to do it. And so it was just funny seeing like all of these pro players like, what the heck is going on? This guy just hit the ball across the map into my net and it should have never gone in. So
It's
it's
like
shit
the
like
one
that.
game type with the magnetic ball that like
Heat
curves to the ball.
seeker.
Yeah, heat seeker.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, he
actually
was
pretty
able to
funny.
do that.
Yeah.
So like, what are your thoughts on the newer season of RLCS compared to like the previous? Is it you feel like it's more put together, more like if it's all around better? What's the experience like?
Yeah, I definitely think the experiences are definitely a lot better. There's less teams, which makes it more competitive near the top, where you won't have just like random ranked B players making RLCS. And there's still a good opportunity for like bubble players to make RLCS. It just kind of eliminates
Okay.
the trash players making it, to be honest. So that's good. And
Makes sense.
I
Yeah.
like the Swiss formats a lot. They give teams opportunities to make runs instead of just getting double swept by pro teams.
Yeah.
Dude, I wish that like there was open bracket or something like that inside of COD again. It would just make it so much more fun.
I mean, it gives it that possibility, and everybody has like a drive. It's not just like you gotta be in early enough, kind of, to be in the pro scene. It's you can actually have a ladder to climb up to, essentially.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Just the competitive drive, you know?
Yeah, and I know COD really lacks it, other than just like showboating yourself out there enough to the point where hopefully somebody notices you and whether or not you're good, not just actually just playing the game and being good enough to be in it. So I know it
Right.
makes a hell of a difference, especially develop that mid tier level, the bubble scene, kind of what you guys are saying, helps develop
Mhm.
that area a whole lot better off than and it's kind of like a farm where like, oh, what, this pro player retired or he doesn't want to play anymore, then we can grab someone from like the lower scene and keep trying people out and rotating people through till something fits. And that's
Facts.
a huge thing that a lot of esports either do well or don't do at all, and that's what makes the pro scene struggle sometimes. And you see those same people and the same teams, and then it's good for like a franchisee kind of thing, but like for open format like COD, not no COD's franchise. Now what the hell am I talking about? CS and Rocket League, like you have the mid tiers where it makes teams, and then sometimes you'll see a good upset, which makes a good storyline as well, and it helps develop everything. It kind of drives people.
I mean, it's also good too because this is the first season of RLCS where anyone can compete. Previous to this season, it was either North America, Europe, Oceania, and South America. There was no Middle East. There was no Asia Pacific. Um, what was I missing? It's like that Russia type
Sub-Saharan
area.
Africa.
Yeah, Africa, all that. Like they were just
Did,
missing all those areas, and now those areas are kind of being developed.
did all that develop when Epic bought out, or was that just Psyonix like slowly building the scene?
Slowly building the scene. The Epic bought out Psyonix probably about like 4 seasons of Rocket League ago, so they didn't really change much in terms of the competitive scene. It's all kind of developed in the last year.
Is there more money in the scene now?
I mean, I guess. I mean,
Yeah, not really much more, but yeah.
yeah. I mean, because you went from a quarterly like $500,000 to now a yearly 2 million prize pool. So it's like you just lengthened the season, but you did also increase the prize pool. But
And I
yeah,
mean, a lot of teams have their way of making money in too through skin. So like it's you actually can get a good ROI on a lot of your teams, not just you're going to take a loss half the time.
Yeah, skins, content, all of that. It comes with the making of the team in general and stuff like that.
And honestly, like watching a lot of Rocket, like Sunless Khan, I love watching Sunless Khan. He's always enjoyable. Like when all right, so like for example, one of his videos where it's like guess the rank. Do you see the rank system like being that obvious, like where you're like, oh, this guy's obviously plat, or this guy's obviously like higher up or lower up or diamond or anything like that? Do you think the ranks are good enough?
It depends. I'll let Seth talk. He's a good rank player.
um, to be honest, like it's kind of hard, because a lot of like the lower ranks, it's easy to identify their lower ranks, but placing them in exact categories is really hard. I mean, from my own ranked experience playing the game, I could be playing at a low gold level or like a low gold level, but on any given day, I can be beating platinum players, and so it's really hard to place these people. And I don't know, looking at ranks, it's not really a good indication of skill sometimes, and it's hard to guess.
It makes
Dude,
sense.
I
'Cause
think it's really hard. Yeah, there's so many games that are like that. You can look at I mean, I'm not going to compare it to COD because the last rank we had in COD, like the pros were getting fucking ranked in like bronze and shit like that. So they had no clue what they were doing there. But like even in like Valorant and shit like that, like the there is no difference between gameplay from like iron all the way to like gold. There really isn't. They're the
Yeah.
exacts, like the people react the same, shoot the same. They just shoot straight or they don't. It's just yes or no.
I mean, like it's funny because like sometimes like when I used to play duo, I played duos a lot with my friend, and like I was plat 2 or something like that. I forget plat 1. I forget, but I was plat something. And like a
Mm.
lot of times people would be the same rank as me, and then I'm like sitting there watching these guys hit aerials with like fucking reset flips. I'm like, what the fuck is going? This doesn't feel like plat right now. This does not fucking feel like plat. Like
Uh-huh.
that the guy just hit a misty. No, no, shot and fuck. Nah, fucking Smurf. Don't want to hear it anymore.
Right, right.
Yeah.
I mean, because like
It's like that.
there is a huge like I guess it would be casual to like actual like wannabe competitors too. Like there's a huge skill gap like where you do see people like really trying to learn mechanics because that is a huge thing of RL is mechanics. And that really I
Mhm.
feel like is what separates a lot of them. Like would is that agreeable or not? Is that really what separates people? Is mechanics?
Um, not really. I've talked to a few pro players before, and this is a quote that I'll take from one of their books. There's a reason why there's more freestylers than there are pro players, because mechanics don't fully drive you. You have to have a really good game sense and really good sense of rotation to be able to go pro.
True.
So
True.
I would say it's more game sense and rotation that really separates people who really want to take the game seriously.
I
True.
yeah, I end up seeing like when I play, I'm just like sitting. I'm like, all right, I want to rotate out a goal. Like I'm waiting because this guy's just chasing the ball around the fucking field. I'm like, Jesus, dude, please, please, please rotate to me. I just want to touch the ball at least once this game. That'd be super cool.
Dude, I don't
Yeah.
even know how the game works. Like I feel like I'm just a, a headless car driving around, like
Yeah,
literally. Like I
no,
just have no clue what
that's
I'm
about
doing.
it. I
Yeah.
mean, and speaking on that note, like what is your preference slash what do you think is best? Controller or keyboard? I'm a controller, but I can't imagine people playing on fucking keyboard with Rocket League. To be honest with you.
Thomas, you want to talk about Astra then?
No shot of pro plays control keyboard, right?
Well,
Keyboard mouse players.
yeah.
Are there a lot
Yeah,
of
one of
them?
my players, Astro, he's a keyboard mouse player.
Why?
I guess it just comes naturally after time. I've never been able to do it, but I'd say he's one of the best keyboard players in the world.
Yeah.
Wow. I
Yeah.
mean, dude, I wouldn't doubt it if he's doing what like pros are doing on a pro level, then on keyboard, then like yeah, he's probably one of the fucking best. That's crazy. I've tried like because it's you can it's a car, like you want to be able to control it in
Yeah,
general, like in a circular motion, like that's kind of wow. All right, that's cool.
Yeah. I
W.
mean, there's KBM players are a very niche type of player. There's like I can count probably on one hand how many
Yeah.
KBM top level. Yeah. And I mean, Astro does play KBM, but I mean, in one of the tournaments they were playing, I think it was the Search. It was like tournament
yeah,
back in the summer. They had to have face cams on to show like
yeah.
just how they were playing, and there's Astro with his knees up and his keyboard in his lap playing the game on like
Huh?
a competitive level. Yeah. Yeah, that was the funniest thing to see on Facecam. It was like, what are you doing? Like, it isn't on the desk. No, no, no. In his
Yeah,
lap, legs up.
Yo, is this on
It-
YouTube? I have to see it.
there is a professional CS player for a while. He would just when he would be playing games, he'd go full lounge mode and recline all the way back and just set his like sink all the way into his chair, like head into his chest too much, and just slouch playing and just zone out on the screen. And I'm like, how the fuck's this guy even aiming properly, dude? Like, and the guy's not just like a wrist player; he's a whole arm player. So he's slouched over like in his chair. Well, not even over his desk, like slumped in his chair for the most part, and flicking his whole arm across the desk while like just laying down essentially. It was the weirdest fucking. So I assume that is comparable to that essentially.
Oh yeah. I mean, face cams are really great whenever you're playing a competitive game. I mean, there's that famous clip of Justin eating Sour Patch Kids, and he thought the ball was in the net, and it wasn't. And there he is eating Sour Patch Kids and like shoving it into his mouth, like, oh my god, I still gotta play, like it isn't in the net. So
yeah.
yeah, those are always great moments.
Dude, I want to see that video. I want to see that like that
Oh,
webcam so bad.
Dude, seriously, like the Rocket League like esport, like the scene, like just watching turn stuff is really enjoyable. You should probably catch a few dash. Like it's uh it's a good scene to be in.
Some of the players look like just good like they have just good characters, like they're like they're good content, you know what I mean, like they look like they have personalities, and I like that about them. I like when a team can have a personality about them, and it looks like a lot of them vibe together. I've seen a lot of version 1 because I follow like the Priesta, part of like the Minnesota Rocker, and I
I
know
love
they do a
version
lot
1.
of yeah, they do a lot of like collabs and stuff like that, and so I follow version 1, and they have like a lot of like their team is like really like content driven, and I like that about them.
Yeah,
they're a
Um,
good team.
my team actually beat version 1 in regional 2.
Really?
Yes,
W,
that
dude.
did happen.
Yeah, we beat them 3-1.
was that an upset or was that kind of just determined to happen?
Depends on the day. I mean, we beat them twice, and they beat us once in series.
Okay, so
Okay.
it's kind of a little bit of a rivalry going.
We beat them 4-1 and then 3-1, and then they beat us once 1-3.
Okay, okay,
Yeah, so that's a nice little rivalry you guys going.
yeah.
I mean, that leads me to my next question. How important are the managers to the team? Do you guys like? Do you think that like you guys being on the team just helps to drive it in a better direction? Is it important for the teams to have a manager or
I
what?
mean, our job is take all the stress off our players, motivate them when they're down, keep
Mhm.
everything going. I mean, I think Set can attest.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, it all just depends, just like anything, like how much effort
It
you put
depends.
into it.
Yeah, it depends on how much you want to do. I mean, if you want to be a good manager, you can definitely be a good help to your team.
That
And
makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah, 100%.
and I mean, I guess a lot of managers are also coaches too as well. Is that something you guys take on?
No, my team has a coach.
Okay.
Yeah, most teams I've worked with have had a coach. It's kind of like coaches can work as managers, but the thing
Mhm.
is that, you know, as a manager, you end up taking the stress off your team. You have to deal with the business aspect. You're dealing with scrimmages and scheduling. It's like by taking
Mhm.
away those time consumers for the coaches, it's like,
It
well,
helps them a
now,
lot.
yeah, it helps them
It's a lot easier.
basically schedule replay reviews and, you know,
Yeah.
really focus on the team a lot more than figuring out all the tedious stuff in the background.
So you do all the paperwork essentially is what it kind
Yeah,
of is.
basically.
They're the
Okay.
supervisors.
Yep.
Okay.
Supervisors, I'll take that.
What's
Dude,
what's
I've
your favorite thing
recently,
about it? Oh, go
yeah.
ahead, Dash.
I was just gonna say I recently come into like a supervisor position, and like I've learned like there's a lot that comes with it, like paperwork wise, file wise, and like and doing stuff like that. But at the end of the day, you have a team that you're supervising, and you're making sure that they just have they get their work done, but they're also proud of the work they did and are like happy with the work they're doing. You know, so
Hold
I
on,
can see
Dash.
that.
Jay, move Thomas back. There we go. All right, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, we'll go. We can literally move on to the next segment after that. Then
Uh,
we can just cut it and keep on going.
okay. Like, what's your thoughts on the current like set with the game? Like, are you happy with it? Because I mean, Rocket League doesn't really change too much. Like, the cars are the cars. Like, there's a handful of differences between them, but there's no like necessarily meta, right?
Um, there's not a big meta. I mean, so every car's gonna have like a hitbox, right? Like, and how it hits the ball and how it interacts with it. And I mean, there is a meta to it. Most people like to use the Octane hitbox.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's why most of the cars they're generating as DLCs and um, any sort of specialized cars in the Rocket Pass, they're all gonna have the Octane hitbox.
Yeah.
It's the only thing that's really used mostly. Of course, you'll see the odd person running like a Dominus hitbox. A Fennec
Fennec.
does count as an Octane hitbox. I don't know how much you
What?
guys are familiar with these cars,
I
I
but
am
am. Yeah.
not.
it's
The Dominus it has more of a flat front end, right? That's what I'm thinking of.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
So each
Dominus is
car
one
has a
before.
different hitbox, is what I'm hearing.
Yes,
Some do, not
Oh,
all.
yeah. There's I think 6 different types of hitboxes. There's only like 2 that are really viable, and
okay.
some.
I mean, I'm an Octane player through and through, but like I love the Skyline just because I love Skylines in real life. So like I just it's a DLC car and it
Bro,
feels like I'm driving a brick, but I don't care. I love the damn car.
I was just picking cars because they look fucking cool.
No.
That's how I was going with it. I didn't even know all that.
Oh
I
yeah,
just
dude.
had that in
There's
mind.
some.
There's some stuff like in COD now where certain characters have like more silent footsteps, and when they fall down and when they jump, it doesn't make as much noise. Like that's wild. Like what the
Meta
fact that
characters at
those,
that point.
yeah, like there's meta characters now, like literally. That's crazy. I didn't like the fact that games are doing that. It does make it a lot more interesting, but like
I feel like COD
I
didn't do
never
that on
saw it.
purpose though. That's just COD fucking up.
Nah, I mean, yeah, probably. I don't know. Because
They ain't that
they're
smart, man.
named,
Don't give them too much credit.
they're in a certain category. It's like the Sentinels, and like it kind of sounds like it could be, but
Sentinels
maybe
are
maybe
just
they just fucked
robots,
up.
bro. That's all.
Yeah.
We love Sentinels.
So, are there any like new professional orgs joining Rocket League right now?
I guess I'll take this one. So, the most recent one was Heroic. Heroic's in
Zuma Intel in the
CS.
chat.
What's that?
I was saying Zuma Intel in the chat.
Yeah, right.
No.
Yeah, this
Uh,
was announced.
yeah. Other than Heroic, there hasn't been many additions. I think Complexity came back.
Evil
They
Genius.
signed the TN roster, and
Say Evil Geniuses are coming back.
They already
no,
did come back.
yeah, they did. They're in Europe. They're normally an NA organization, right?
Yeah,
Are they
in
EG?
CS anyways they are.
Yeah.
They're based
Yeah,
out of
they've been in
Seattle.
COD as well.
Yeah, they had that Stanislaw team with Tarek and
Yeah.
Cirque. Yeah,
Didn't they buy
crumbled.
NRG's team or something?
yeah, they did.
They
think
they
they did.
buy in and out of a lot of different things, and it has yet to really succeed.
Yeah. But yeah, those are like the only 2 new ones. I guess 3 with EG. I guess that is kind of new. But yeah, I mean, I guess Thomas is waiting for one more org to come through, and
Yeah, we have
basically complete
the
both.
top 16 teams in Europe and North America have all been signed except for us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is one region more dominant than the other? Is it like a NA dominant scene or EU or
Asians.
I think EU bubble scene is probably better in North America, but the top EU is gonna get bitched by the top of North America.
Okay, so it's a pretty NA dominant scene for the pro scene at least.
Basically. Yeah, for the pro scene, I'd say NA would just dominate them.
I mean, we've yet to see some of like the outside of NA and EU, like Oceania has probably 1-2 good teams. South America probably has one good team. Like it's pretty
Yeah.
selective over there. That's why in the format for Worlds, NA and EU are given 5 spots to go to Worlds, and the rest of the regions are mostly given just
Well,
one spot.
it's possible that NA can get more than 5.
Yes, that is true.
Really?
But just as a starting number at the beginning of the season, they were given more.
Like already given 5.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Is China and Korea big in the scene at all? Because I know they're starting to branch into like CS a lot more.
I believe China is actually someone who isn't allowed to compete right now.
Yeah, I don't think they
Oh,
are.
Yeah, I think they're one of very, very few scenes. Like
why's
apart
that?
from, I'm not too sure. It was kind of interesting because a few years ago, when Rocket League was trying to branch out to different countries, China, I believe, was one of the first. They had this whole new UI and like different interface
Yeah,
for it,
I
and it
remember
was
that.
being posted all over Reddit and the internet. And it was like, wow, this like interface is really good. Like the way they designed the garage and different parts of training, it looked really nice. And to see them not in RLCS now was kind of surprising.
It's kind of weird because I know China like leans away from violence a whole lot. Like they have to completely remake
Yeah.
CS for China people to actually like access the game itself. Like they can't have blood. They can't. So you feel like Rocket League would be like the game where they don't have to do really much anything. It's just cars hitting a ball. It's not that deep. But
Yeah, yeah.
I guess I missed something there.
I mean, I guess we
I
all
don't know.
did.
Right.
I'm just as surprised as everybody else. But yeah, Korea does have a scene. They're in it. I don't follow the Asia scene too much, seeing as it's like brand new. But I mean, we'll see at Worlds in this next major in December.
I mean, usually they carry the
there.
biggest viewership too. So that's why like I know a lot of
True.
esports try and like get them in there at least someplace because like they can bring in millions of views and more views the better for everyone.
Yes.
They
of
bringing back
course.
lands?
Yes, they are in December. We will be going to Stockholm in Sweden.
Sheesh.
There will be 5 spots for each region, then 1 for Asia, 1 for Oceania, and 1 for South America, I believe. I could be wrong on some of those numbers, but I just know that there is definitely 5 for North America and Europe.
Yeah.
That's a W. That's gonna be really fun. Are
Oh,
you
it is.
like personally going yourself?
I don't think there's live crowds. I don't think they're doing
Well,
that this time
nothing
around.
has been announced for the World Championships yet. So
Okay.
For the Worlds, they aren't, but for this next
Major.
LAN, there will not be a crowd.
I think there will be crowds for the Worlds, but
Yeah,
we'll see.
we'll see.
That's gonna be really cool.
So what games do you guys play outside Rocket League, or does Rocket League just consume your life?
I don't play any games other than
Um,
Rocket League.
yeah, I mean,
He's like
it's
work,
really
man.
Rocket
Manage.
League. Yeah. I mean, university consumes a lot of my time, so I'm not really too heavily into a ton of different games. But if I had to play a few other games, I just rebought the Game Pass again, so I'm playing like Craftopia and a whole bunch of other games. Yeah.
Where do you go in university? Or what university do you go to, and what do you go for?
So I live in Canada, and I go
Nice.
to Carleton University, and I'm going for a computer science degree in game development.
Nice.
Yeah.
Same. I'm computer science as well. I haven't. I'm doing. I was focusing on computer science. I haven't decided if I'm going to change to cybersecurity or not, but I'm doing computer science as well. Though it's a W.
I was thinking of doing the same thing next year. It just depends on how things go in my next semester, and then maybe I'll change over to cybersecurity as well. Yeah.
Cybersecurity. I did a little. I did a club a little bit my first semester at my school here, and it was really fun. So, and I've always been interested in it, but kind of got to decide. I kind of got bribed over into the computer science world. We can get into that another day, but it's kind of
Yeah.
crazy.
See, man, this makes me wish I never went with my major in college and just went elsewhere with it. It's regrettable. It's like
What'd you
computer
get?
science, nuclear energy technologies.
Wow.
That's wow.
Yeah,
It seems very specific in terms of a job search.
it is. It's extremely specific. Essentially, my job would have boiled down to being Homer Simpson. That's literally the description of my job. I
Oh,
sit in a
true.
little box area with a bunch of buttons around me in a nuclear plant, and I make sure shit don't blow up.
How did
in my
Homer
job.
get that job?
Bro,
Like,
I don't know,
can we
because you
talk
had to
about
pass
that?
a lot of engineering
A
tests,
lot of tests.
and
My
it
guy
is a
was dumb as bricks.
6-hour test, man. 6-hour test with a guy hovering over your shoulder. It was
There's no way
fucking
he could have
miserable.
sat there for more than 6 minutes
That's what I'm saying, man. It
without a
was,
beer.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah, yeah.
Beer or donut. Yeah.
That's wild.
Trust, and you weren't allowed to have anything too. They like no coat, no nothing. The calculator they give you, which barely was a calculator, and a pencil, bro. That's it. Yeah.
Oh,
Then and jackets were in a separate room. You have state examiners hanging over your shoulder. It was.
Dude,
I've never
those
sweat so
producers.
much in my life.
Oh, I bet. That's probably worse than like a lawyer's test and everything. The bar.
And out of 110 people, I was only one of 6 that passed.
wow.
And so are you
Fail rate's
crazy.
miserable.
are you working in that field? or-
No.
Okay. Yeah.
That's 5.5 years out the window with debt.
Yeah.
It wasn't great.
It's chalked.
Because
Damn.
trust me, if I was doing that job, I wouldn't be sitting in an apartment. I'd be sitting in a very, very nice $500,000 house. But instead, I'm not.
That is true.
But this
I
is
mean-
this is about Rock League, bro. We ain't talking about my mistakes in life.
Well, we're talking about like mentally straining, just the school that you just had to go through, and it literally didn't work out, I guess. But let's talk about back into Rocket League about managing a team. Is that mentally straining at all, or is it just kind of like easy selling? or
Not
what?
really. You just gotta
No?
you gotta have a brain.
Just figure, yeah, just know how to work it
Yeah,
out.
I
and make
mean, in
sure shit goes
esports,
straight,
dude,
right?
that's kind of hard to come
I mean-
across sometimes. To be honest.
It can be
Yeah.
a little mentally straining, though, to be honest. It all just depends on your team's results. I mean,
Yeah,
if
I
you
agree
have
with
to
that.
constantly keep consoling your team and people are kind of becoming demotivated or the team doesn't feel like it's working out, like a lot of that gets put on you. And so you kind of have to deal with it. And yeah, it all just stems from results and how your team's performing and
that
their
actually.
expectations.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you're
Yeah.
the dad of the team too, as well.
Ah, okay. Yeah,
Like,
I guess.
pat him on the back,
I'm-
like it's okay,
I'm
son. Like
saying-
you got it next time, guys. No worries.
It goes all the way back. They're the supervisors. Like it literally just it's that life. Like you care for them, but at the end of the day, if when shit goes wrong, like it's on your head too.
Yeah.
No,
Um,
100%.
do you see like esports like as a whole like ever like really taking over the traditional sports region anytime with like maybe Rock League being like the baseball of the esports world?
Uh, I mean,
I
I'm
don't
going to go
think
with
so.
the unpopular answer and say probably not. I know a lot of people want to say it is,
Mhm.
but I don't think that esports will really take over traditional sports. And I think a lot of that stems from just like growing up. I mean, did you guys play any sports when you grew up? Like
Yep.
baseball, basketball? Yeah, like you were introduced to that by your parents and you probably followed the NBA, MLB, NHL, like whatever you were into. And so, I mean, you just become a fan from day one. And I guess, yeah, that can happen in esports, but I feel like getting into regular sports is a lot bigger of a thing for a lot of different families and a lot of
And
different people.
probably cheaper realistically because like
True.
depending on the game, like Rock League isn't strenuous, but like PCs can be a pretty penny that a lot of
Bro.
families can't afford. And
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
it comes down to
Fact.
a say baseball, you need a mitt, you need a glove, and like sometimes teams provide that for you. So from if you're not a well off enough standpoint, I can 100% see where like sports is sports and esports will always be esports. So I actually completely agree with you, Set. 100%.
I think
Yeah.
from a viewing standpoint, it'll definitely be
Oh, it's starting
like
past
there's
regular
more
sports.
eyes. Yeah, like I think there would be more eyes on it now that, like you said, there's still be like there'll be those same eyes that are on sports, but they're also on like esports. Like they like how we have at this point like most likely double monitors or triple monitors, like whatever you have, 2 TVs. Like you're gonna have like one game up and then some type of like sports, like either like a football game or like some type of tournament on the other side. You know what I mean? I feel like it'll get to that point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Are
mean,
you guys gonna be streaming any scrims? Because I might have to peep scrims games.
We don't stream scrims because we don't want to give away strategy.
okay.
Okay, of course.
It can also leak roster moves sometimes.
Elite what?
I think he's disconnecting, but roster moves.
Yeah,
Oh,
roster
okay,
moves.
okay. Makes sense.
Yeah, it does. I mean, there's only one team that I can think of in CS that does, and that's Mythic. Mythic is literally just like the thrown together stream team that don't they just play to play. But I mean,
They
they're
just
not even
play.
together anymore. They actually disbanded.
Faith.
They were the boomers of the CS scene, so it was bound to happen.
Oh, it makes sense. That's cool. I mean, we got some. I know right now we got like since it's the beginning of the game, and honestly, teams don't even the teams don't even want to start the comp scene yet in COD. But like we got a bunch of teams streaming scrims there, so that's been fun to watch. Learning from the pros, watching them play and learn the game and everything, dude. Honestly like Vanguard. I think it's been out for like 11 days now. It's a W. So,
It's only been
I mean,
11
if you guys
days.
ever start, yeah, it's only been 11 days, dude.
Wow.
So many people have honestly forgotten that. Like, I've heard so much like shit on the game already, and I'm like, dude, it
I mean, people are
hasn't
shitting on
even.
Halo when it released yesterday, so like.
I mean, you're not wrong, but Halo is also they've been in that's been in production for I don't even know how long. Like they make a
You're
new
just
COD
making
every
excuses
year.
for COD to make a new
I'm
one
not
every
making an
year.
excuse. I'm not making an excuse. I'm just saying it's only been 11 days, and if we go back to the 11th day of MW or like the 11th day of Cold War,
The
like the
servers
11th
weren't
day of
even up.
any game, that's what I'm saying, dude. Like there
Alright,
was
so
fucking.
they're doing slightly better, man. We get it. We
Yeah,
get it.
yeah, they're doing slightly better, but that's a W.
Actually, speaking of, how long has Rocket League been running with essentially the same game? Because I mean, it started off as rocket propelled card, something I forget what the hell it was.
Supersonic acrobatic rocket powered battle cars.
Thank
There
you.
go.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Start
thank you.
BC.
Yep. Wait a
Yo,
minute.
I mean, you just fucking rap. That was a bar. Yo, you trying to be on my next song? What was that, dude?
Yes, sir.
The PS2 exclusive. Yeah,
Yep.
that game was janky.
It was fucking awful.
Yeah, honestly, like when you see Rocket League clips now and you compare them to like Start BC, they just don't compare because Start BC everything was so glitchy that it's like it felt way more impressive to hit clips. It's crazy.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
But Rocket League has been essentially the same game since day one, and I mean Start BC I think came out in like 2008, 2007, somewhere around
Yeah.
It's
then.
been out that long.
No,
Yeah,
this is like the pre Rocket League game, like the
I mean,
concept game.
yeah.
I borderline would say because it was barely functional, barely.
Like Portal Wars was for like Splitgate, how it was been out for like 3 years prior or some shit.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
we're talking about 10 years prior.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, like CS:GO was, but you know what I mean. We'll do
Yeah,
that.
CS to CS:GO. Yeah, yeah. I mean, the only thing that hasn't progressed well is the servers sometimes in Rocket League.
Yeah.
yeah. Don't even get me started on that.
Do
I'm
those get
really
crazy or what?
I mean,
Yeah.
like the servers and competitive lobbies are pretty bad, but like on a competitive level, you will have some times where like servers will have to be shut down and you would be in a constant state of restarting for like
Mid max?
Yeah, we actually
yeah,
got
oh
screwed
yeah,
over
it's
by
series.
What?
About 20 minutes. Oh, trust me, that's not even the worst. Back in early 2020, they were doing qualifiers for the RLRS. So like, there's like the MLB and then there's AAA. RLRS was like the AAA, and so they were doing qualifiers for that. And I remember I would tune into the brackets just to see like how like some of my favorite teams were doing, and I saw this on basically all the matches on Smash GG, which is where the tournaments are run, and it's like like 125 something minutes, and I'm like, it does not take that long to do a
For a
best of 5
match.
series. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they ended up having to completely scrap it, and they had to play qualifiers the next week.
Because
And
games are what, 5 minutes long, right?
And
yeah,
it was
it
just
shouldn't
one
take
team
any
that
more
had
than
to-
25 minutes.
20 minutes.
Eh.
Yeah, and
That's
so that was
wild.
that. And it got even worse. Like 2 weeks later, on the start of RLCS, that first week, they just postponed it. It was like second match in, and they had to move it to the next week. Servers just weren't cooperating. So yeah.
That's crazy. And the game's been out, you said 10 years now. Like how do they not kind of address, like I feel like like you said, me and you are both in computer science, right? So
Yeah.
coming from a computer science standpoint, like I feel like that's the first thing that I'm like making sure is fixed. Like, you know what I mean? Like making sure that at least my servers are functional so that the game stays like they that my players can stay in the game. Like I feel like that's the first thing that I'm making sure is working.
Well, yeah, no, definitely. And I mean, they have tried. I don't know how many casual players know this, but I think it can be an assumption. every single RLCS game is played on an RLCS server. They have dedicated servers that are supposed to be better to run these types of things, and even those fail. Like it's
No,
like there's just no fixing it.
That
It's
makes no sense, especially being acquired by Epic. Like, oh, you have now a dump truck full of
Bro,
money to buy
like,
some servers. Like,
dev teams
I-
all over the place.
I
Like,
I
come
don't
on.
get it, man. Like, bro, just slap some servers in it. Like Rocket League's big, but it's not like so ungodly big that like your servers are too jam packed. It's just like no,
Yeah.
you just bought the shitty servers. You bought the on sale ones. Like, can you get the upgrade a little bit here, please?
Yeah.
Like I
know,
don't
man.
feel like seeing that square and square fucking thing packet server lost bullshit in the top corner of my screen anymore. Like get that shit out of here, please.
Dude, I'm gonna keep it a bug. Right now in Vanguard though, you like it's every life you get packet loss. It's kind of
I have yet to encounter it yet.
Good for you, man. Good for you. My internet just might be fucked. I'm in LA, so it's really just not. LA has fucking terrible internet.
East Coast,
man.
Best Coast, man. I don't know what to tell you. We kind of can connect anywhere. So we're the center of the world, essentially.
Yes,
Europe,
that's
Europe,
true.
I only get 80 ping to. All right, that ain't terrible.
Dude,
I can deal
I'm
with that.
looking at a nice 140 at least.
All right, that's just connecting to like Boston servers, I'm sure for you. Shit.
Dude, don't even get me started. Oh my
Yeah.
god. Are you guys doing any content with you guys with the different teams?
I don't really do content. I used to kind of stream a little bit, but I'm waiting until we get an org to start streaming.
Okay, all right.
I mean, most of the content is kind of left up to the team. It's
Mhm.
we don't really participate that much in content for our teams, but I would say it's kind of just up to them. Not even every team creates content, but it's definitely a big attractor for anybody who wants to get paid a lot. So
Yeah,
I mean, it's
think
always just
content
up to them.
is great, man. I think it's like a nice way to just get your team out there, get them known, and just like show their personalities. Because a lot of times people just want to know what you're thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks. But I mean, what else? I mean, I feel like that we've covered everything pretty much. It's not too much left to say. So I mean, do you like helicopters or what? Oh no, wrong one. Sorry. So I mean, I think that'll wrap up whatever episode this is for. Some shit. I don't know, man. It's a number, and we're on that number right now.
Yeah, episode 4. Yeah.
Yeah. So, tell us what you guys are up to. Shout your socials and all that good shit. Tom, Set, whatever you guys got.
Go follow me on Twitter at thomascrdbl. That's thomascrdbl, and go follow the team page at Vibrance RLE on Twitter.
Yeah, for myself, just follow me on Twitter, at SETthaTONE. Other than that, pick up Vibrance, sign Vibrance.
Go
Yep,
Cats!
that's it. Go Cats! Yeah,
Go Cats!
All right.
that's it for us.
All right.
And I'll go on ahead and finish up myself. I mean, you guys know me. You guys can follow me DVSH TTV on Twitch, and then as well dash GOW on Twitter. Yeah, anytime. I'm live pretty much every day. As soon as I get my schedule back. But yeah, and all in. You want to finish up?
And same outro as always. You guys can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Twitch, everything. It's always All In Gaming 23. And thank you all for stopping by and appreciate everybody once again for talking some Rocket League today. It was very enjoyable.
Yeah,
Nice
of course.
learning
Thanks
session.
for having us.
Thank
No
you for having us.
Appreciate you guys.
And see everybody later in the next episode.
Have a nice night, guys.
Bye.
Yeah.